referenced this 3 or 4 times now in this conversation, and you certainly come across as a very confident player. So I have to bring this up. But right around the draft, it was actually the article came out the day after the draft in the Washington Post, and you said about LeBron. You said a lot of people say he's great. I want to see how great he is. I don't think anybody is better than me. He's going to have to show me he's better than me. I got to tell you, man, to deal with that the day after the draft and already be getting backlash in the league. It won't be the first time you get backlash, but where does that confidence come from? Where does that belief in self come from?
It's pretty much growing up, I remember I used to play with my older brother and all his friends. And I remember, I was really young. They were like 3 years older than me. I used to play with them and I used to actually be in the game. So when I used to play against people my age, I was like, it's a wrap. I'm freaking everybody, like I'm better than everybody. But then, it just really translated to me growing up as a player. So I was like, just me being overly competitive sometimes, people might not understand what I'm trying to say. And I mean, that's what, happened the day after the draft. Opened up my phone, I got 100 notifications, missed calls and stuff. I'm like, I just got drafted, what's the matter? But I mean, like I said before, I said in many interviews, it was no intent of like disrespecting, everybody know LeBron and his greatness and stuff. But me, myself, coming to the league, I'm a rookie. I'm not gonna say, oh, he's better than me. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's what people should say. This is a different way of saying it, but I think myself coming to the league, I'm like, people are gonna have to show me. Like, I'm not gonna say he's better than me. So that's really
No,
good.
listen, man, I love it. You don't need to justify yourself to me. I love it. I love it. You actually, you have clarified a few times, and you said, I think he's the best to ever play. People probably misunderstood what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
When you guys played against him, Nembhard hit the game winner. Tyrese threw a insane left-handed pass. And did he show you that night that he was better than you?
He's trying to put me in trouble. No, I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. When it started the game, he had like 10 points in a row, and I was like,
what did I do? What did I do?
Yeah. But after that, I was like, I'm just going the game. I missed my first 3 shots, and then I had a charge. So I was like, yo, man, you got to wake up, man. Everybody's watching the game right now. So, but it was great. It was a great game.
JJ, this is a question for you too, for both of you guys, about the confidence in general, because everyone who plays in the NBA is confident. Every professional athlete is confident. But how do you have the mental focus to not have the confidence get shaken? And obviously, Ben, this is still your first year, but I think the results speak for themselves in terms of how you've done this. And JJ, this is a thing you've had in your career, your whole career, but then also just, I feel like shooters in general, in particular, you just have to shake off if you have an 0 for 9 night or something like that. You just got to kind of move on to the next one. Mentally, what's your sort of advice in terms of blocking out, any sort of self-doubt that you have or anything like that?
Well, I'll speak on this first. For me, the work is what gave me confidence. I always tell people shooting is 3 things. It's decent form, it's a repeatable form, and then it's repeating it over and over and doing the repetitions and doing the work and the practice. And from that, I have confidence. That's not to say my confidence never wanes. This is the great part about the NBA, and I don't know, Ben, if you've experienced it this year, but in high school or college, you might have a game or 2 a week. And so if you have an off game, there's a lot of time to think about that off game, to dwell on that off game, to not get in your own head, but like my internal sort of mood as a player was always dictated on my previous game. So waiting 4 days, 5 days to get another shot to flip that switch on my mood, that was frustrating. The NBA, you're playing basically every other night. So I think for an NBA player specifically, it's having that short-term memory and just moving on to the next thing and continuing the work. Like the routine for me was always sacred. So it was always about the work, and then the confidence came from that.
I mean, no, basically, you're right. Like times. I think we had a Golden State game, and then I went 0 for 6. I was like, yo, this is crazy, you know. But the next day we had a game, so I feel like, you know, it's also a blessing just to really just shake it off. And you know, the short memory is actually a real thing. You know, you might be like Buddy is the best at doing this. You know, Buddy will end up being one of the greatest shooters of all time, and Buddy's 0 for 8. He said the next 10 are going in, and they actually are going in. You know, so I feel like it's a great thing to have a short-term memory.
He did that in that Knicks game last week, the one where Tyrese got hurt. It was the first half he couldn't hit anything, and then all of a sudden it's just like unconscious.
Tommy, I think there's different forms of confidence. There's quiet confidence, there's loud confidence, then there's also irrational confidence. And I think irrational confidence lives very well in the NBA. I think it really does. I think there has to be some level of irrational confidence to succeed, to last. You know, I think about like TJ McConnell, your teammate. Great dude, like a brother to me. He probably doesn't come across in a normal conversation, but he has irrational confidence. The other night against Milwaukee, he had an all-timer, 25 points, his career high in the first half, didn't miss a shot. Like that to me, and by the way, he's at times with Nembhard in the lineup, he's had times where he's played 9 minutes, he's had times where he's played 35 minutes. That to me is like being a professional, just being able to sort of fit in and do your job no matter what the role is. That's irrational confidence. And he brings it every night. As always, thank you for listening to the show. Please subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Wondery, wherever you listen to your podcast. We appreciate you guys.